Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat. The show is about to start. Hey guys, what's up? This is Phebe.
Yeah, this is Mike.
This is the Mike and Phebe Show. In today's episode, we're talking with Councilmember Malcolm Corona from the City of Perris. Malcolm Corona has been on the City of Perris City Council for the last 7 years. He's currently a teacher for the last 14 years and a Perris resident for the last 37 years. He is married with 2 boys. Welcome, Malcolm.
Yeah, welcome.
Hi. I'm very happy to be here with you guys. I've seen you guys in person, but I've checked out your radio station a couple times, and so just very glad to be on here.
Yes, we're so excited and so honored to have you on. We are speaking to various local dignitaries regarding their re-election campaigns, and we're so excited to give everyone an opportunity to share what issues are important to them. Now, Malcolm sent me a couple questions, so I would love to go over that with you. So let's talk about what issues are important to you.
Boy, I think the issues that are important to me are probably what's important to the residents of Perris. The first and foremost is always safety. It's important that we always live in a safe community, whether it be from crime or traffic or contaminants in the air. So just safety, I think, is a very important issue with our residents of Perris. I think you can't really focus on the other things until you first focus on safety first. I think also what's important to our Perris residents is that they're expecting more things of us than before. Like before it was enough just to have, hey, it's important that we have more jobs or more things going on. But now they really expect us to get some higher quality things, like places to shop at, places to eat at, places to dine at. Just kind of making sure that they're living in a community that could compete with any other community in the area. And I'd say mostly those 2 things, just kind of if we keep improving and keep doing what we're doing, I think we're kind of getting there. Obviously, some residents are kind of upset with maybe some of the direction that we're going as a growing city. We seem to be having a lot of the industrial popping up, and our residents see that, and they're speaking out on it too. So finding that balance of where to put industrial and where not to put industrial is also very important to our residents as well.
Yes, we live in Perris also, and we've seen the growth. Mike, the station owner, he's been a lifetime resident
for the last 46, almost 47 years.
Yes,
oh, wow.
And he's seen so much growth, and from where Perris was back in the 80s, as opposed to now, there's so much growth. And I've been here for about 3 years, but then, we've been together for almost 20 years.
Almost.
So I've seen quite a bit of growth too. And there's a lot of good growth. To me, I always see growth as positive, but being a lifelong resident, I also understand other people's point of views where the industrials is coming in. But Perris is such a huge, huge city in terms of land mass, that there's a lot of land that, we can look to. But overall, the growth, I am very encouraged by the growth.
Yeah, I'm speaking to most residents on that too. I mean, they're for the most part, they're all pretty happy about it. I lived in Perris when it was about 30,000 people. I think Mike was probably here when there was probably about 10,000 or less. But yeah. So it's definitely grown a lot, just like the whole entire area. For a while there, we were getting outpaced by our neighboring cities, and I kept hearing that, Perris is in the center of it all, which is true. But at the same time, like how come those cities weren't coming to Perris to do their shopping and stuff like that? Why were we having to go to other cities? So now we're finally at the point where we're starting to see that. We're starting to get places that you can go shop for clothes and places where you go get tools and stuff like that. Just instead of having to go spend your money at other places. But there's still a lot of places, parts of Perris, specifically in the north of Perris, where you have a lot of people that have to go to neighboring cities to go do their shopping. But I'm really excited about the growth. I think most people are. We finally got our in and out, and people are excited about that. And we have some other shops planning on coming up soon too. And so I think people are excited about the growth too, for the most part. So some of the old timers, they kind of like miss the days of being a small town. And, I kind of miss that sometimes too, but I'm really happy about the growth too. I mean, I would rather go shop in my own city than have to go somewhere else.
Yes, we definitely appreciate that. Having the selection of stores and restaurants to go to, that's always a good thing, because no one really likes to drive that far. I mean, everyone that I know, they say, I don't mind driving. Yeah, that's true. But you know what? Gas prices and the time, no one really has the time to drive 1 hour one way, 1 hour the next, especially with traffic. Now you can't avoid traffic. And it is nice to just be able to drive 10, 15 minutes and get all your shopping done because it saves money, saves time, everything.
And when the town was a very, very small town, gas prices were very cheap, so you didn't mind traveling a little bit of distance. Now, since gas prices are the way they are, nope.
True.
Oh, yeah.
True. And you mentioned about addressing contaminants in the air. How would you address that?
Well, I think in the future, there are plans through the state to make sure that the trucks that kind of seem to be some of the ones kind of spreading the contaminants, which is kind of just part of it, right? I mean, more trucks and stuff like that. They're starting to get better for the environment. So there's going to be more regulations for trucks and stuff like that. And it's not coming from the city of Perris; it's coming from the state of California. And
Right.
just making sure that when we put things like so now, for example, if someone wants to build industrial, they need to put one tree per every 2,500 square feet, which I mean, you're talking about some of the warehouses might be 1 million square feet. So that's a lot of trees, just making sure also that we put things away from the people, away from schools, away from the communities that seem to be kind of affecting with communities, especially like the city of Perris, right? We're seeing in Jurupa Valley and kind of that area too, where they're kind of dealing with some of the same issues. And over there, they do have a high number of children with asthma and other affected by health concerns, probably due to the contaminants, for the warehouses and industrial nearby.
Oh, that's a very interesting issue too. I never really thought of that. And I didn't realize that per every warehouse square foot, you said they have to plant one tree. Is that correct? I didn't know that.
Yeah, for every 2,500 square feet.
Okay, very nice, very good. And what plans do you have for the future of City of Perris?
Well, I think Perris is for the most part, I sometimes have my disagreements here and there. I mean, which is part of being on a council of 5 people with their own 5 opinions. But I think for the most part, we agree that we want our city to grow in a positive way. We want to be healthy financially is very important to us. And I got to say, Perris is one of the most healthiest financial cities in the entire state of California, believe it or not. We paid off our unfunded liabilities, which is a huge concern for most cities in the state of California. So we have funding to take on different projects and to weather any economic downturns as well too. Our reserves are very healthy right now. So to kind of continue that, just be protective of the taxpayers of the city of Perris with their funds and be able to do projects. It's also important that we also grow economically too. So we do have a lot of warehouses too, but we got to definitely bring in those things that residents want. So our residents, they're asking for entertainment for their families. So we do have some things coming up soon. We do have a trampoline park that's under construction right now over there by where the old Walmart was at. And we're looking for other things as well too. I know one thing that they've been asking for is an aquatic center, and that's something that we're really, really looking into. Obviously, everything comes with a price and a price tag, and so it's very important that we kind of find that balance of providing services for our residents, but at the same time not breaking the bank and going into debt to do that.
Yes, it's always very important because obviously you work there, you're in the city council, you see the behind the scenes and you know the finances too, but you're also a resident with a family. So exactly, what, you've got 2 boys. So yeah, you can see how we may need some more entertainment that's family friendly. So I'm sure it's kind of hard to find that middle ground, but I'm sure the middle ground can be found in a productive manner.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think one thing is true is like it doesn't have to be things that we spend money on, right? But making sure that our parks, for example, I've really grew up in our parks in our city, and I saw the condition that they were in when I first got on council. And I mean, most of them never had restrooms, and that was one of the first things we did. So for example, we put the industrial development impact fee for our parks. So from now on, any park, any industrial building that gets built, they have to pay something to the tune of 97 cents per square foot towards our parks. So with that, we were able to provide restrooms in our parks and kind of upgrade some of the playgrounds. We do have some playgrounds we're looking to upgrade to, and kind of just improving our parks in general. For example, the one over there by Enchanted Hills Park. I mean, that was a very expensive park that we did, but it was so needed in that community, for a community that seemed to be ignored for so long. But now it's just it's probably one of the nicest parks in all of Riverside County. I mean, it truly is a great thing that we're putting a lot of focus on our parks, because our parks are places that are good entertainment for the whole family, and it's free. It's free for our residents.
Absolutely. And I'm sure that's not a commonly known fact that the warehouses are contributing with their taxes towards the upgrades at the parks. And as a resident myself, I didn't even know that. So that's good to know, and to remind people, the warehouses are here. It helps us overall, and just how you may not realize that they're contributing towards the parks and upgrading that. That's really good knowledge.
Yeah. Well, in addition to that, we kind of put a development impact fee. Now, keep in mind, Phoebe, it's not something that the warehouses were thrilled about doing, but it's something that we kind of made them do, I guess. For example, they also do the art stiff. So the mural, for example, on D Street and 4th Street, that was paid by the development impact fee for arts from the warehouse developments. So there are some positive things. I know I've been kind of outspoken against warehouses for the most part. But there are some positive things that they do contribute, with the infrastructure around the area and stuff like that. But I think overall, it's important that we put them in places where they're not going to negatively affect our residents.
Absolutely. Now, what would you say is the most challenging part, maybe of you being on the council or being as a resident? What would you say is the most challenging part?
I think the most challenging part is that I've learned this years ago. You cannot make everybody happy. There's nothing you could do to make everybody happy. If there's an area that maybe sees a lot of traffic collisions, and you put a stop sign or street light, then it's bound that you're going to have some residents that are also going to be upset about it, because now you're, making their drive or commute a little bit longer. For example, I remember on Perris Boulevard, where it was all this traffic congestion, and we fixed the bridge and we widened it and everything. And all of a sudden traffic is just flowing great and wonderful. And all of a sudden you kind of hear some residents were saying, hey, is the traffic's too fast, right? People want development as well too, and a lot of development is kind of centered around Nuevo Road and Perris Boulevard, around that area, where you have the new Walmart and you have all the new shopping over there. But now there's residents that complain that there's too much traffic now, right? So you can't have more places to do shopping and more entertainment without also more traffic. They kind of come together. So
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the challenging things that we have, and also just dealing with 5 people on the council. It's always a challenge to see, to kind of come to a consensus on what we feel is best for our city. I've always told people the worst thing would be is if we never got along, right? If we're always just bickering and fighting and stuff like that. But the second worst thing I tell people is that if we voted the same way every single time. Right. It's important to have variation in opinions. Our community is very diverse. We have different opinions. I think it's important that our elected officials also represent that as well.
Absolutely. And that's what I appreciate about our city council, that everyone comes from a various different background, but you guys all have the same unique outlook, and you guys want to improve Perris. Seems like that's the number one goal for you guys.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Yeah. So I'm very happy to serve with certain members of our council who I think for the most part we all want our city to grow in a positive way.
Yes, absolutely.
So, what is your best experience in being on the city council?
A best experience, I think my best experience is just seeing the improvements that we've done, seeing where I kind of started at, and then seeing how our city's grown, and being a part of that. I'm not going to be here forever. No council member is going to be here forever, because now we have term limits. And so, but just driving around and just seeing, hey, I voted on that thing, or hey, our finances are good because I was a part of that. Along with our other council members as well too, and just kind of seeing the improvements. And I think we've grown in a positive way. since I've been there, and I do hope that the residents feel the same way too. And if not, well, I guess they'll kind of let us know, right? So I think that's probably the most positive experience, just kind of talking to residents and for the most part, them being kind of happy that they're proud of being in a city that's continuing to grow in a positive way.
Very nice. I'd like to ask you, Malcolm, this is your second term or first term as city council?
The second term.
Oh, second term. Okay. And where do you see yourself going within the city council or within locally in the local government situation here? Do you see yourself, applying and running for other positions within a local area here?
I've thought about that. A lot of people ask me about that. I'm just kind of focusing on the city of Perris right now. I think there's still more work to be done. I do plan on obviously running again for city council for a third term, and then I'll decide from that point. I think for the most part, our local officials that are kind of higher up, I think they're doing a pretty good job, and if we'll see if there's any openings right there. But ultimately, my main job is just being a teacher too. So if I were to do that, let's say county supervisor in the future, right, or assembly or something like that, I'd have to quit teaching. And right now, I enjoy being a teacher. So I think just right now, just focus on city council. I'm not sure how long the mayor's going to be there, but maybe I could run for office there. But we do have term limits, so I think I'll run for one more term. I could run for another term, but since we do have term limits, and I'm the one that kind of pushed for term limits, I think it makes sense that I run for just 3 terms.
Very nice. Yeah. Very nice. It's always exciting to follow someone's career. We've talked to other local dignitaries in the area, and which are young people and also a little bit older. So it's always exciting and interesting to see where everyone's going in their career. So that's why I thought to ask you.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, did you want to share anything else with us about the campaign here?
Well, I kind of plan on doing the same thing I did before. The campaign season will be different from other years I've done before, because this year is the first time that I'm going to become in districts. So we're running in districts now, right? So I'm going to be running for District 4, which represents mostly the south of Perris. Well, definitely the south of Perris, and it goes all the way up to about Nueva Road. Some parts over there, it gets a little tricky over there, but it represents mostly the south of Perris, and I think the south of Perris has been a really growing area. So it's important that we kind of watch out what goes in there and what doesn't come in there, right? Because I think that's important to residents too. And I'm just going to kind of keep doing what I've done in the past. In the past, I've been one of the least funded candidates, at times the least funded candidate, and I've gotten record numbers both times. So I feel like if I just kind of stick to that, and it's no secret what I do. I go just talk to the residents and listen to the concerns of the residents and bring up their concerns. And, hopefully they think I've been doing a good job. And if not, I guess they'll let me know. Right. Which is part of it. And, I just want to just continue doing what I've been doing.
Good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Malcolm, we've had such a great time talking to you. It was an honor to chat with you about your campaign election. So this is Councilmember Malcolm Corona. He is running for city council at the City of Perris. So be sure to get out there and vote coming on November 5th. That's Tuesday. Be sure to register and make your voice heard. And if you have any questions, you can contact Councilmember Corona at the City of Perris. You can call them at 951-943-6100, or you can find Malcolm online on Facebook at malcolm.corona or on his Instagram at Malcolm Corona. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. It's definitely been a pleasure.
Thanks for listening to the Mike and Phoebe Show on Alternative Twist Radio. If you missed any past episodes, just search the Mike and Phoebe Show or Alternative Twist Radio on any major podcast app.